Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to go ahead and take another look here at GMT and of course help understand best practice, big picture, and kind of just figure things out here for us, because the last time I covered it, it was actually maintaining a decently nice price point up here in like the 320 range, but it has since fallen down for obvious reasons because Bitcoin had a major correction a couple of days ago, but we can see GMT kind of bouncing back. So we want to kind of see that's going to sustain itself, it's going to continue, whatever the case is, we want to find out. So GMT is looking pretty good here, still in the overall sense of things. That being said, I'm not a financial advisor. I hope you can learn something here today. My goal is to help you become a better trader. So we'll talk about best practice, big picture, and obviously if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. You can go ahead and find me there. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group, so check that out in your own time. It should benefit you, does most everyone, at least those who want to learn to become better traders and not necessarily piggyback. I do provide signals, of course, but that's not the whole purpose. The purpose is to help you structure your trades effectively. All right, so check that out in your own time. That being said, take a look here at GMT. Oh, you know what? It looks like I forgot to turn on the light. There we go. It's a little better. All right, so take a look here at GMT. 1 day chart here. We got to understand that we're under 50 on the RSI, and I don't believe we've been under 50 yet since the get-go because it's just consistent uptrend. So we got to respect the fact that until we get back up above 50 on the RSI, that could work as a tentative resistance. That being said, it's probably concurrent roughly with right around 305, which is a Fibonacci retracement level, and obviously also kind of a key level support for the 1 day candlestick close right at about 307. So 3 to 305, maybe just say even 3 to 310 would be a range that we need to expect potential resistance. All right? But again, still good stuff there in that sense. We can also take a look at the 20-day SMA. We lost that, but we're bouncing out the 50. So this is a positive sign. Being above the 50, I feel, is the most important because that typically, in most cases, the 50 will work concurrent with trend lines. So if you were to kind of just go with a loosey-goosey here, we can kind of see there is a potential trend line forming, whereas the price action is running concurrent with the 50. So the 50-day SMA should continue to work itself up until it averages itself out sideways. That being said, we should expect the price to continue to progress higher based on that sentiment alone. Again, you never take just one sentiment or one indicator to make a decision, but the macro is telling us, for the most part, the bottom should be in. And if you kind of think about it this way too, you see there's a lot of resistance here at this point that could work as a support level here. All right. Once again, worst case scenario, the price does come back down. We shouldn't see anything lower than 212 based on the previous support level. So once again, 212 I'd say is a dollar cost average target as a best case scenario as far as averaging down. But in a better case scenario, the price is going to continue to progress upwards. So I hope I explained that correctly. Look at the 4 hour. We can see, of course, we're still underneath all moving averages. So this is not really helpful in the grand scheme of things. We want to be back up above at least the 50, possibly even the 200 at this point. And we'll know here soon if it's going to be able to continue to increase in value. But for the moment, we can see that GMT is fighting back and effectively doing much better than most coins are. Not a lot of coins have this to say for it. Most of them are just like this. So, pay attention to the coins that are making higher lows and higher highs. Well, more so higher lows, because the higher highs are still yet to be seen. Minus Algorand, of course, which I just covered, is taking off here today. But generally speaking, GMT is looking overall pretty good, but being underneath those moving averages is not ideal. We're also under 50 on the RSI too, kind of showing that the 200-day SMA right at about 287 is probably a resistance level too. So again, we got to retest that a few times. But we do have a MACD convergence here, of course, albeit losing momentum. It is still present. So if we look at the 1 hour time frame and identify the Ichimoku cloud, the price is above the cloud, then perhaps we have a buy signal here. But once again, that's not the only reason, actually hold on, let me rephrase that. Regarding the cloud and how it works, it works as a strong resistance until you break through it. Okay, so if you just take the cloud alone and you avoid the lagging span and conversion line and baseline, you pretty much need to get through 2 support and or resistance levels to be able to consider. So in this case, there's 2 resistances because the price is below the cloud. We're in the cloud now, and it's potentially getting rejected by the cloud, so we don't have confirmation that the price is broken through it yet. Even though we do have a MACD convergence, and it's all well and good, it kind of tells us there's that shift in momentum that occurred because of these candlesticks here, these 2 hour candles. That being said, that 2 hour candle was well and good, but now it's starting to taper off. which makes sense. It's normal for that correction to occur, but when you travel into the cloud like we're in right now, it's considered to be a no buy zone. So what we want to do is wait for the price to average itself out over, and at this point consider taking an entry. Or obviously the inverse could apply as well, where the price never breaks above, stays below, and a potential short position would be available there. All right. So again, there's just a handful of little different scenarios you could look at, but good news is for above, the lagging span's free and clear of price action. So if you have a long position, the price could and should continue higher. We also note that the conversion lines above the baseline, that's equally as important to give us that confirmation that we wouldn't want to sell our long position if we have one. Again, no confirmation on taking a position, but there is confirmation on leaving your position open, if that makes any sense. So again, generally speaking, GMT is looking pretty good. I would say in the overall sense of things, it does appear that it wants to continue to progress upwards if you consider this trend line, as well as the simple fact that we're above 50 on the simple moving average on the daily. I think that's important. But we are still underneath a lot of key level resistances on the 4-hour time frame. So we need to get that transitionary time frame, that 4 hour, to be back up above and perhaps even close above the cloud on the one hour. And then we're going to start seeing that shift in momentum, that paradigm shift where the price is going to start making higher highs and higher lows. Again, some of this is contingent on Bitcoin's success, at least for the most part. As you can see today, we have a green day, whereas Bitcoin is red. Okay, it's not like significantly red, but it's just kind of a dead day. And we got some green activity here today. So that's a good sign telling us that there is still some independence from Bitcoin, but it's also still very reliant on Bitcoin doing well in order to maintain that high of a price point. All right. So if we see a dump to 33,000 or 30,000 or something crazy like that, you cannot expect GMT to hold. All right. It'll sell off. Profitable coins like these ones are the first ones to go, essentially, in most cases, depending on the fundamentals, of course, when stuff hits the fan, right? When things get crazy, people are going to take their profits. They're going to go to their most profitable coins. And right now, GMT is proven to be very profitable, right? So try to think about that. All right, well, this is pretty much all I got there. At this point, I would say the anticipation of this price going to continue higher. I mean, my prediction is, of course, that we're going to continue to honor this trend line and the 50-day SMA as well. So there's a great chance we're going to keep seeing higher highs and higher lows from GMT moving forward. That's a very strong chance. All right, so I hope you learned something here today. CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below if you want to become a better trader. And we'll look forward to working with you. Thanks again for your support, and have a good rest of your day and weekend too. Take care. Goodbye.